Chairman of the BVI Electricity Corporation, Ron Potter, says the BVIEC's Phase 5 development program is a big deal. The Phase 5 program includes an extension to the Parkwood Pond Power Station, 2 new 8-megawatt generators, a new central control room, and the installation of 2 additional transmission cables between Parkwood Pond and Longbush. Now, government officials and members of the BVI Electricity Corporation Board broke ground for the Phase 5 development program on Monday, March 23rd at the Parkwood Pond Power Station. Ron Potter says Phase 5 is a big deal because of its crucial role in the quality of life for residents.
While Phase 5 may not have been in the spotlight as with other projects, please note that it's just as important, if not more so. Without Phase 5, we cannot realize the promise of a new hospital. Without Phase 5, we cannot capitalize on the economic benefits of the cruise pier and the landside development. Without Phase 5, we cannot produce water from any of our desalination plants. Without Phase 5, we should not even be thinking about a sewage plant, a new airport, ferry ports, or hotel development. In fact, without Phase 5, the standard of life that we become accustomed to, and that's the one before the Black House I'm talking about, will continue to be challenged. Phase 5 has had a long gestation period, and we will now give birth to this most important infrastructure project. If you think I'm making a big deal out of Phase 5, yes, I am. Simply put, because it is a big deal.
The territory's progress in electricity generation dates back to the 1950s, when 6 hours of electrical power was supplied daily to 63 consumers. Premier Dr. Deolanda Smith says Phase 5 has implications for all sectors of the BVI economy that depend on a stable supply of electricity.
Today's groundbreaking is not just about my government moving the pendulum towards progress, but rather about those customers who depend on the corporation for stable power supply. Today is about the completion of the new People's Hospital and the corporation's capacity to keep pace with the demands. It is about the completion of the new cruise pier and our marketing strategy to turn day trippers into overnight arrivals. It is about us building international relationships driven through technology like video conferencing. It is about us building a legacy of entrepreneurs as small businesses are created to drive this economy. It is about us continuing our efforts to outfit the school libraries and classrooms with power technology to advance learning. And it is about us paving the way to extend the TB International Airport and completing a new Iris O'Neill Medical Center in Virgin Gorda. You see, any economy, as you build up the different sectors, so should the power of the territory's electricity operations keep pace.
The BVI Electricity Corporation has been developing Parkwood Pond since its inception in 1990. Phase 1 of this development included the construction of the power station and 2 3-megawatt generators. In 1995, Phase 2 saw the installation of 2 4.5-megawatt generators, while 3 6-megawatt Rolls-Royce units were added in 1999 as part of Phase 3. 12 generation sets were added to the Parkwood Pond Power Station between 1970 and 1990. During that period, the number of active consumers had climbed from 1,829 in 1970 to 6,347 at the end of 1989. General Manager at the BVIEC, Leroy Abraham, says the demand for electricity has expanded over the years, while the BVIEC generating equipment has aged. Phase 5, he says, will remove the need for load shedding.
This isn't child's play. From the commencement of developing tender specifications to when the units are actually delivering power to the territory's electrical grid, that time frame takes approximately 3 years. The Phase 5 development program will see the expansion of the Parkwood Pond Power Station such that it can accommodate 4 additional units, of which 2 8.1 megawatt Wärtsilä 9L46 generators will be installed initially. And I've been assured by my chairman and also the minister because the contract also facilitates for a third unit to go in shortly after the installation of the initial two, that will be done forthwith. It would also have the addition of various ancillary equipment, switchgear, transformers, which are required to support not only the initial two units, but also the subsequent two that would be installed. And we've already stated that Wartsila has been the successful contractor for that project. In addition to the generation portion, the two cables which were installed initially in 1990, which at that time only one was sufficient to deliver power throughout the territory all the way to Virgin Gorda, will be reinforced by adding an additional two cables that will not only aid in the delivery of more electrical power via the transmission network, but also reinstate the much needed redundancy in this very critical link of the territory's electrical infrastructure. And that project will be done by K-Line International Canada Limited. Therefore, the completion of the Phase 5 project will eliminate the need for BVIEC to have to load shed, which has become in recent time a term far too often used, by providing the required reserve capacity to perform both planned and unplanned maintenance on generating units at the power station.
Communications and Works Minister Mark Vanderpool says electricity service upgrade is one part of the $157 million being injected in the BVI's infrastructural development.
But I want you to know that the $100 million that you heard recently talked about to put us in fear is more than $100 million. We are spending approximately $15 million in sewage. We are spending approximately $5 million in water. Between the CDB program and the recent roads program, we are spending about $40 million on roads. We are about to invest here about $37 million in electricity generating power. And before we finish with the cruise pier development and all the surrounding aspects that we are adding into it in the city and in the historical sites that we are about to improve, we would have spent about $60 million. So the $100 million is not 100, it's $157 million for infrastructure in the territory.
The Phase 5 power development plan will be installed over the next 18 to 24 months. It promises to increase the territory's power generation capacity by approximately 33%.